everyone. Hope you guys are doing well on this day in August in 2020. Um, what a crazy year it's been. If you're watching this live, please put a comment in the section below so that I can see if this live is working. So I'm not going to start just yet. I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see if you can hear me or see me if you are watching this live. So yeah, go ahead and post a comment and I can wait and see if it works. Okay, so I'm just checking on the in the group and it looks like it is working. I'm just going to test on the comment. Okay, great. Hey Ryan, how's it going? I see. Oh, I see Harold's comment, which is great. But I'm not seeing it on the chat. But yeah, so great. So I think it's working. So I will go ahead and get started. I set up this Facebook Live Q&A for our Bliss 2021 November cruise. We have over 25 couples who have booked with us for this cruise next year. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to see if we could maybe chat about the pre-cruise options. As I posted in the event page, there's an article from the National Geographic that talks about how even just planning a trip is good for your mental health. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely can use some of that help. So um, hey Todd. So yeah, so I wanted to do this so that we can maybe get together online and start talking about what we want to do, what we hope to do, um, what kind of suggestions or comments that you may have that you want to do for the pre-cruise. The idea is that because we have so many couples coming in from the Pacific Northwest, I was going to set up the option for a group flight so we can all fly in together. Hey, Manny Bianca. And so the group flight will not just be from Vancouver, obviously. It will be from either Seattle or Portland as well, because we have couples from those cities. And if anybody else who are not in those three cities and you want to participate in the group flight, when I send out the email about the group flight, just reply back and let me know which city you'll be flying from. And then I can get a price on the group flight for you. So because from the West Coast, we don't have a direct flight to Miami. So we will have to do a layover at some point. And so the options for flying there, there's quite a few different options depending on obviously where we want to do the layover. There is an option for a red eye flight from our origin city, which will be Seattle, Portland, or Vancouver. It could land in either Dallas, Atlanta, Salt Lake City, or Minneapolis, or any other options as well, depending on which airline we go with, or it would land in Toronto or Montreal, and then we fly in the morning to get to Miami. If you obviously have your preferred airline, or if you want to use your points, you can definitely do that on your own and then just meet us in Miami for the pre-cruise. Also, once I know which flights we're going to be booking, you can then maybe, if you want to use your points, to book your own flight that way. Todd's asking if Dallas has a couple of good clubs. Dallas has one club now. They used to have two, but one of them closed down. And so they're just down to Colette's that I know of. There could be another one. I'm not sure if they're still functioning or not. But Colette is the only one I know right now in Dallas. What else can I talk about the flights? Right now, it's way too early for me to even look at prices because it is over a year. Generally, the airlines will release prices and seat to for flights about 350 days prior to departure. So the soonest I can even look at prices will be December of this year. Matt and Bianca is asking, when do we plan to arrive in Miami? So this is a pre-cruise. So what we want to do is we want to offer you a 3-night pre-cruise before the cruise. So instead of arriving the night before and just having that one night, we're gonna get there on the Thursday night. Oh, sorry, we're gonna get there on a Thursday. So the idea is to fly on the Wednesday evening or Wednesday night, red eye flight into and then get into Miami late morning, early afternoon of Thursday. That gives us Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night in Miami. And that way we will have time to do a lot of the different activities that we can include into the pre-cruise depending on what people are interested in. We'll always include the airport transfer from the airport to the hotel. So even if you don't fly with us, your transfer will be included in the pre-cruise package. We will have the 3-night accommodation in the hotel, and this is where the next part we're going to talk about is the hotel option. But we're going to have 3 nights in the hotel, and then we're going to include one entry to the Lifestyle Club in Miami, which is actually in Fort Lauderdale. So it's about 45-minute drive away, and it will be Trapeze Club in Fort Lauderdale. There is no Lifestyle Club in Miami itself, but we're going to offer the transfer to get you from Miami to Club Trapeze. And everybody who I have talked to who have been to Club Trapeze have said that it was a really great club. So I think that'll be really fun to do on the Saturday night before the cruise leaves on Sunday. Ryan's asking if there's any clubs in Miami, so I just mentioned that there isn't any in Miami itself. So we'll be going to Club Trapeze. Um, Everything that we're going to talk about tonight is obviously going to depend on how everything turns out in the next year. We don't know what's going to happen with this pandemic. We don't know whether the clubs are still going to be open. Thank you, Todd. I will definitely be checking on that for you when we do talk about what we want to book for accessibility. The hotel will be fine. I already checked in the hotels, and there will be no problem with accessibility for the hotel that way. Um, Now, so we talk about flights. We ideally we want to fly in on a Wednesday night, and then coming to Miami on Thursday, and then we will stay 3 nights in Miami itself, and then the cruise leaves from Miami. We will be transferring from Miami to Fort Lauderdale to Club Trapeze on the Saturday night, and then transfer back. So it's all included, so you don't have to worry about how to get there and how to get back. So that will be definitely one thing we're including into the pre-cruise package. For the hotel itself, this is where it gets really fun, and this depending where you want to stay. Most of the time, there's going to be multiple pre-cruise hotel that Bliss will offer, and different travel agency will offer their own pre-cruise hotel that you can book for the 1 or 2 nights before the cruise departs. And they're generally in Miami, about like in the city of Miami, really close, about 30 minutes or less from the cruise terminal. Having said that, the area itself isn't very fun. It's more commercial, it's more business type area, so there really isn't going to be many touristy things to do. What I like to do is to actually stay in South Beach. I've heard, I'm sure you guys all know South Beach. It's like the party central. It's the like really touristy. It's really fun. Uh, and the beaches are beautiful. So I thought it would be really fun to actually stay in South Beach. That way you can kind of have access to all of the fun touristy things if you've never been to Miami before and you want to check it out. Or if you wanted to do something more sort of daytime thing, like go hang out on the beach, go to a pool party at one of the hotels. There's a ton of different clubs that you can go to at night. I know there's a few of us who are really into dancing, and there's some great clubs in South Beach. Shopping is phenomenal, maybe a little pricey, but there's definitely a lot of options that way. Lots of great restaurants in South Beach, really easy to get to, and it's very pedestrian friendly. So once you're actually in South Beach, you can just walk everywhere, or in Justin's case, the wheelchair accessibility should be pretty good because they are pretty meant for tourists, and so there should be pretty good accessibility that way. If people do not want to stay in South Beach and they'd rather stay in one of the pre-cruise hotel, I will have the option for you to do that as well too. In which case, you would just join us for the different events if you still want to join us for the pre-cruise package for the whole thing. Now, with regards to the hotel, we're looking at hopefully one of the hotels that are right near the beach. And those one that I'm looking at, it's about a 71 room boutique hotel. So it has a lot of character. It's kind of fun. And so I'm waiting to hear back if they are able to give me an estimate on pricing for November 2021. Again, because we're still over a year and 4 months away, 3 months away now, they probably will not give me exact pricing, but I'm hoping to get an estimate of the pricing so I can have an idea of what kind of pricing we're looking at for the hotels. And once we know where we want to stay, then we can then work, kind of schedule the different activities around there. I've already looked at some of the research for South Beach, and there's a ton of different fun, kind of off the beaten track things I think would be really fun to do. There's a drag brunch. There are hotel pool parties. There's a karaoke bar that'd be kind of cool. Ryan's asking about staying in the Keys. The Keys is a little bit further away, so it's a little bit more out of the way in terms of getting to and from the cruise terminal, and also to access any of the pre-cruise parties. Because I was going to mention that the night before, there tends to be 2 or 3 pre-cruise parties that are being offered by Bliss Cruise itself and by other travel agency that you can go to and attend and meet other people who are on the cruise, going on the cruise the next day. So ideally, we want to be close enough that we can actually, do a little party hopping if we want to, because we do want to do trapeze that night. So usually the party is around 8 o'clock for the pre-cruise party, for the Bliss and everybody else. So we can maybe go there for an hour or two, kind of see people, meet people, and then at 10 o'clock we all go to trapeze and check out the club that way. So that's the reason why I haven't looked at staying in the Keys, because it's a little bit further away from everything else that will be a little bit too far to get to. Um, Obviously, if you want to do your own thing, totally fine, and you can always just join us for certain things you want to, like the club or anything like that. Yeah, so that's the hotel and the flights. One of the few things that I want to check out in Miami, there's a museum. It's called. Let me just pull it up here so I don't mess it up. There's a museum that sounds really interesting. I have no idea how good it is, but it just sounds really fun. It's called the World Erotic Art Museum. So I thought that'd be kind of an interesting place to go check out, see what it is. I've been to a erotic museum in Paris, and that was quite interesting. It has a lot of artifact from, in past years, from the 16, 17, 1800s, to do with erotic arts. There's sculptures, there's painting, so this might be a kind of cool little option to check out as well. There's different tours that you can actually join onto. South Beach is quite famous for its Art Deco because it has really great architecture that way. So there's an option for doing a tour of the area and check out the history that way. Um, as you know, Florida, Miami is quite popular with Cuban cuisine. So there's a little Havana culture tour that you can join as well too. And there's hop on hop off buses, there's pub crawls, there's party bus. So there's a lot of options that will be really fun to do as a group. Excuse me. And I also wanted to include a few meals as well too, like a group dinner for one of the 2 nights or 2 or 3 nights, and so we can all kind of get to know each other and kind of have fun and celebrate being in Miami, hopefully, and getting on a cruise the next day. Let's see, what else do I have? Yeah, you're welcome. I love doing the research, and I think doing the research is helping me personally with my mental health. So I'm happy to kind of have something to look forward to. So I've been to Miami a couple times for some of the lifestyle cruises, but we usually just come in the day before, so we never got the chance to kind of explore Miami. So I thought this would be a really great time to kind of, we have lots of friends who are coming with us, and it'd be really kind of great to do things in a group. And so I thought something like that would be really fun. There's a bar that sounds really interesting. It's called the Karaoke Circus, and I think on Thursday night, they have 50% drink special till 10 o'clock, and they have something called the Kill Your Idol Karaoke, which I thought was hilarious. And so I don't sing. I'm not a very good singer at all. And I know some people hate karaoke, but for those of you who are interested or who kind of think would be fun to do, that's an option as well on Thursday night. The rough itinerary I have in my head is something like that on Thursday night, a drag brunch on Friday during the day, and maybe there's a place. Yeah, man, Bianca loves karaoke. Excellent. So there's a place called Basement, and it is kind of cool. It has dancing, ice skating, and bowling all in one spot. So I thought maybe Friday night it would be a fun group activity for us to go to after dinner, and we can dance, we can ice skate, or we can bowl. So you can choose your own adventure that way, I guess, on Friday night. I know that with the red eye flight, we are probably going to be quite jet lagged coming from the West Coast. So Thursday, when we get there, we'll have kind of free day once we check into the hotel to do what you want. Go for a walk, go hang on the beach, and then Thursday maybe we have a dinner together, or can do our own dinner, and then do the basement. So do the karaoke on Thursday night. Friday will be some kind of a cool day. We have the drag brunch that's available. We can go to at 2 o'clock. We have this ice skating, bowling, and dancing place we can go to on Friday night. And Saturday, there's a beach club called Nikki Beach, which is quite famous, and their daytime pool party is apparently quite amazing. On Saturday, it's the Rosé Saturday, so they have rosé specials. And I thought it might be a fun thing to do as a group to go and hang out at a pool party on Saturday during the day. Then in the evening, we have the different pre-cruise parties and then trapeze later that night. So that's kind of the rough idea of what we can do. And so I thought the more research I do, the more cool things I hopefully come up with. And what I'll do is I'll see what will work. And my goal is to be able to send out some information to all of you guys by the end of the year with some rough estimate of pricing, hopefully, and about the options available that you can join for different things. With the pre-cruise package that I'm going to be offering, I will be including a few things that will be part of the package, and then a few optional things that you can add on if you want to. So yeah, Ryan's asking, how about on the way home? Any ideas? So the cruise is from Sunday to Sunday. I would recommend if you can find a flight that leaves Miami late on Sunday afternoon or even Sunday night, then you can book it. Otherwise, it might be a good option to book a night in Miami so you're not rushing off the cruise and then go home the next day. There's a lot of flights early morning somehow for some reason in Miami back to Vancouver. So depending on what you want to do, we can offer you the option to book your return flight on the Sunday night or on Monday. Um, let's see. Todd's asking, are we gonna have any energy for the cruise? Yes, yes, you will. It's well, what I'm offering is gonna be fun, but it's not. You don't have to stay up all night, so you're gonna have time to first sleep, and then you're gonna have lots of energy for the cruise. So you'll be fine, no problem that way. And Ryan saying about the keys. So we overnight. Yeah, so Todd is saying that they overnight after the last big lifestyle cruise, and they're really happy that they did. So yeah, so depending on what your schedule looks like, if you want to go home right away, make sure you book a flight that is after, like in the afternoon, because depending on how how busy it is getting off the ship, you may be finding it difficult to find a taxi, an Uber, or anything to get to the airport, and you do have to be there at least 2 hours ahead of your flight in order to make sure you go through security, and plus about we don't know what kind of boarding or pre-boarding procedure you're going to have to go through due to the pandemic. So we definitely want to allow extra time to make sure you get to the airport in time. So yeah, there are flights in the afternoon that I have looked at. So it is an option that we can actually all leave and get to the airport in time to catch our flight back to Vancouver or Seattle or Portland. Otherwise, you can definitely add on an extra night after, and then go home on Monday. So that will be an option that you can choose and see what you prefer to do that way. Okay, so uh, that's pretty much all the information I have right now based on the different research that I've done. It sounds like there's going to be enough things to do for 3 nights there, because that means we have 2 full days, Friday and Saturday, to do different things, and then have time to go to the different parties and get over the jet lag. Because I think the pre-cruise is a good idea as well, so that you can actually get to Miami, have your jet lag, and then get it over with and get on the right time zone, and then get on the ship for your 7 day cruise that is going to be super fun. And that way you don't have to worry about jet lag while you're on the boat. So now that I have finished talking about the pre-cruise itself, let's chat about the cruise. Let's see if you have any questions right now about it. This is going to be the biggest lifestyle cruise ever. The last time we were on a giant ship was the MSC Divina in April 2016, I want to say. It was actually our very first lifestyle cruise, and it was leaving, and he left from Miami as well. That one wasn't full, but it was a giant ship. And one of the things that I learned from being on a giant ship is to make sure you know where your room is. The easiest way to get to your room if you need to get there in a hurry, and to remember where different things are on each level, because uh, some of the levels are just suites and cabins, so you don't have to worry about those at all. Then other levels will have both cabins and activity rooms, or dining, or theater. And because this is such a big ship, it's gonna be you're gonna feel like you're on an actual city, a floating city, basically. So kind of like being in Miami, you have to know where your hotel is, and then knowing where all the restaurants are, and know where the bars are. So yeah, so Ryan's saying that we should all have walkie-talkies, and that's not a bad idea, especially if you tend to go off on your own. If you want to get a hold of your significant other, or your partner, or your friends. One of the big things about a lifestyle cruise in general, not just a giant one, is to make sure you bring business cards with you, or some people call them select cards. And what it is basically it has your names, and or maybe a picture of yourself, and it has information that you want to give to people. So whether it's an email, or a phone number, or a kick, or anything like that, and then leaving a space to write your cabin number in. And the reason for that is, on a giant ship like this, if you meet someone that you really like and you want to talk more to or connect more to, either make plans right away to meet somewhere, or give them a card, or get their card, because there's a good chance you won't see each other ever again on the rest of the week. So definitely, if you meet some really fun people and you want to get to know them more, or if you want to keep in touch, exchange cards or exchange information right away, or even make plans to meet somewhere so that you can actually get to see them again in that week. Also, another good thing is bring a whiteboard and some whiteboard markers. That way you can put on the cabin door and have someone to leave a note for you. So that way when you give out your card and it has your cabin number on it, they can come by and go, hey, we came by and say hi, we're gonna be here. Or you can write on it, say, hey, we're gonna be at the main pool from 12 to 2, come by and say hi. And then that way people can come and like find you, hopefully. So I got that idea for our door tags in our takeover. So for those of you who've been to our winter takeover and the summer takeover, you will know that we have the tags on the door, and that's the idea we got from the cruise. So it's a really great thing. Um, some crews have given out the whiteboards, but I think it's better if you pack your own, because in that way you're guaranteed to have one. I have been on cruises where they gave them out, and I've been on cruises where they don't give them out. So bringing your own, then you're guaranteed to have a whiteboard. And I would bring, if you can, magnetic whiteboards, because the doors are metal. So you can actually just kind of magnet your whiteboard onto the door directly. Otherwise, bring um, painter's tape, because painter's tape is really useful. It won't leave any marks, and it's easy to take it off the wall and not leave any damage. And for those of you who may not have been on cruises before, keep in mind that there's very limited outlets in your cabin. So I would suggest bringing one of those plugs that have multiple USB ports right away so that you can have a easy way to charge your phone. Be careful bringing extension cords and power outlets because some cruise lines will actually confiscate that. So make sure if you do want to bring extension cord or an outlet, just check with the cruise line. Let me know. I can check for you as well. What I have is I have one of those wall outlet that comes with um, multiple spot for USB and for just a regular charging, so that one outlet becomes like two or three outlets that way. Ryan's asking if you can request a glory hole door. Not on the cruise because it's made of metal, so you won't be able to make your door into a glory hole. But as Todd said, I'm sure that the playroom may have something similar. And plus, we don't know exactly what sort of regulation is going to happen going forward for play parties. So stay tuned. I'm sure we'll find out because I need to know for November coming up what we can do about that. Let's see. So we talk about the door, tags, your cards, your socket, and let's see. So when you unpack all your clothes, your empty suitcase should fit underneath your bed to give you more walking space around. Because as you can imagine, a cruise ship cabin is quite tiny or quite snug. Everything is in its place, and they're usually pretty well laid out, but there really isn't any extra room. So your suitcase will go underneath your bed, and anything that you don't plan on using, just put it under the bed as well. Um, I actually bought this um, a hanging closet device that is meant to go from a closet into your suitcase and out on onto the closet again. And I used it in Costa Rica, in Belize when we were there in February, and I absolutely loved it. I'm so glad I got it. I wish I got it earlier because it's such an easy way to pack and then unpack and not have to worry about putting things in drawers or anything like that. But everybody has your own way, so definitely to pack what you need. There are usually theme nights, so Bliss will send out an information email, I'm sure within the next, usually about 2 to 3 months before the cruise. They'll send out more information that way. And since you book with me, you'll get emails from me as well as from Lynn with TSC. You'll get a lot of information emails from both of us, so you're gonna be getting lots of information that way. And you'll get information on what to pack, what you should bring, any tips and suggestions. So I'll be doing these FB Q&A more often as well as we get closer to the cruise because it's easier to ask questions when you have in person sort of thing. Um, Ryan's saying that maybe just try to pack a carry-on. It's never a bad idea to travel with just a carry-on if you can. Um, I know for a lot of people, costumes take up a lot of rooms. Shoes take up a lot of room. So for a lot of people, just a carry-on isn't gonna work. But if you can, definitely just personally, I would love to travel with a carry-on. And so usually when I go to cruises, I have a lot of things I bring for welcome kit. So kind of help that kind of um, prevents me from just traveling with a carry-on. But normally, I would definitely suggest doing just a carry-on because it's way easier for you that way. Um, let's see, what else can I talk about for the cruise? Um, does anybody have any questions about the cruise itself right now who are watching? Um, I'm just trying to think of. Yeah, so Ryan had a good point. You can actually hit a doll store in Miami and pick up all the things that you need, so you don't have to take everything with you, like a door tag or anything like that. But if you obviously already have one, it doesn't take that much room to pack a door tag and like that, so you should be fine that way. And drink package will be available for purchase for those of you who are looking for them probably when you do your check-in, which will be about 2 to 3 months prior to arrive to check in as well too. So that way, Ryan just asked about drink packages, so great minds think alike. So yeah, you once you get so how it will work is that you won't have any information about the cruise for a while. about 6 months before the cruise, you'll start getting emails from either me or Bliss or Lynn at TSC, just to kind of get some information for you that way. And then we will get you your check-in information once the cruise line sends those information to Bliss, which will be about 2 months prior to arrival. So once we have your check-in numbers, we will then send them to you. You will then use that number to go to RCL's website and check in for your cruise. From that point onwards, once you check into the cruise and you are in your account, you can then pre-purchase any drink packages that's available, and also internet or spa or anything like that. The charter cruise drink package options may be different from a normal cruise drink package option. So if you're looking for information about that, you can look at RCL's website and see what drink package they have available. Keep in mind that those package may not be the same package offered on our cruise, but you'll give you an idea of what you can kind of expect. So it's an idea, but not it won't be guaranteed. Bianca is asking if we will be hosting any events on the cruise. That will depend on Bliss. We won't know what Bliss is planning to do in terms of events or workshops or meet and greets until probably, I would say, 3 months before the cruise. And if they are looking for um, travel agency to, that's a cat, that's Frank. Hi, Frank. Looking for travel agent to host meet and greets, I will definitely be hosting one for sure. Officially, unofficially, I will probably still host one, and I'll just let you guys know where we're gonna be, and we can all kind of meet and kind of hang out for a bit and just kind of catch up on what everyone's been up to. Because I may not see you guys for a whole week on the cruise. Yeah, so I will have the information for you once we know what's happening with the cruise with Bliss once they send out the information. So yeah. Let's see, all your foods included. There will be some options. There are fine dining options that you can pre-book before, like when you do your check-in, you can actually pre-book tables, things like that, and you will pay an additional charge for those. Or you can just go and try to make a reservation the day off or while you're on the boat for those fine dining. But they will be the main dining room and the buffet. Well, actually, I don't know about the buffet anymore. We'll find out once we hear from RCL what the new protocols are. Uh, but they will be dining available, obviously included with your cruise. Let me think. Oh, so those of you who have been to a tropical takeover with us, if you remember in your welcome kit, I had given you guys some sort of clips. You might want to bring them because you can then clip your towel to your beach chair so they don't fly away while you're go and get a drink or something. So that could be something that you want to take. I would see if I can get more of those and I can add them into the welcome kit for you guys as we get closer to the date. Um, Everyone's getting a welcome kit from me who have booked this cruise, and so I'll try to see what I can do. I will I will add a door tag to the welcome kit, but it will just be the small one that you see in our takeover. So it won't be a big one. So definitely bring a big one with you if you want. But I will definitely have a small version. You can just use painter's tape to tape onto the wall that way. Let me see. Bring sunscreen, obviously. Bring aloe if you tend to burn easily. Bring a small little bag that you can use when you get off the boat at different ports. That way, you not bring a big backpack with you. The usual travel precaution applies when you're traveling to be careful of your wallet or anything like that. Let's see, what else can I talk about for the cruise? Um, the promenade on Oasis of the Sea is very cool because it takes over the entire ship, and that's where everyone will go to do the whole scene and be seen, and it's a really great place to as a meeting point for people to kind of meet each other or meet new people. The Oasis of the Sea has a aquatic theater, which will be kind of a cool thing that I've never seen on a cruise ship before because I haven't been on that ship. They have a rock climbing wall, which I'm definitely gonna try, and yeah, so right now, what we're waiting for is to see what will happen in the next year. And what all we can do right now is dream and plan and see what comes up. And we will definitely will have to be a little bit nimble and be able to kind of change things when things change, and to sort of be mobile and be able to sort of roll with the punches, because everything is up in the air and we don't know what's going on. And those of you who are booked on the November 2020 cruise, Bliss Cruise, as far as I know, that cruise is still scheduled. They have offered people who have booked the option to transfer to a future cruise if they are not comfortable traveling this soon or in the next 2, 3 months. So that's an option. But yeah, so I don't have anything else to add right now. But like I said, as we get closer to this cruise, I will be doing more and more Facebook Live Q&A, and that way I can answer all your questions. And I'm excited. This is one of the cruises that I booked last year, and I was looking really forward to it. And hopefully, it's far away enough that the pandemic will be suitably taken care of, if I can say like that, or we would have gotten to a point in the pandemic where we are able to travel again, and that we are able to go on a cruise and able to go and do a pre-cruise. So but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. So those of you who are watching, before I sign off, does anybody have any questions about the pre-cruise, about the cruise itself, any suggestions that you may have for the pre-cruise? Let me know. Put in the comments below, send me a message, and I will answer them for you. So yeah, let me think. What else can I talk about? So we talk about the flights. We talk about the hotel, the activities, and the options. So, you're welcome, Todd. I miss you guys too, and it's been a tough year, and hanging in there, taking one day at a time. And so, yeah, I think that's it. So I think I will end it here, and I will post another Q&A probably in a month or two, and hopefully we will get to see each other in person at some point. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, and I will hopefully talk to you guys all very soon. Good night. Stay safe and healthy.